Hey trappers, Dale Billingsley here, Billingsley Brand Lures. So guys, what I want to talk to you about today is hooking up drags on traps. I've had a request to make this video, so I thought I'd go ahead. Today's a pretty good day to do that. It's always a good day. So anyway, kind of want to start out here just showing you there are several different types of drags that you can buy or make yourself. And they all work, okay? I mean, I haven't had a drag yet. Even the big heavy rebar ones that you buy or can make yourself, I've never had a problem with them. They're just a little big and a little bulky. My favorite ones that I use, though, would probably be the J.C. Connors Tracker Drags or the Tracker Plus. To me, those are they're about a 2.5 pound drag or 2.25 pound, 2.5. I think he actually has two different sizes there. I think there's a 2 pound drag, and then there's one that's either 2.25 or 2.5. Some of y'all can correct me on that if I'm wrong. But yeah, just any kind of a hook, any kind of a plow will usually work pretty good for you, at least here in the Midwest. As far as like out west and some of the rocky, more the rough rocky terrain, you may have to play around a little bit. I've never been there. I mean, I've been there, but I've never trapped there, so I don't know. So the first thing I do is to attach my drags. I use these split rings, okay? Now, you've got to be careful where you buy them because some of them are just entirely too damn soft and they will open them up on you. But if you're scared of that, you could always put a safety on these with a piece of 3/6. Gosh darn. Can't get it spit out. 3/32 7x7 cable with a safety through here. And we know that that's 900 pounds with a ferrule swagged on there. So that's a pretty good little safety deal if you want to go to that much effort to do that. It's not going to hurt anything. The last thing you want is for this thing to get hung up and for them to open this up or straighten it out and get away with your equipment. And then for chain, I just run a number 2 straight link chain. And chain length is another thing you're going to have to fool around and play with as far as for on your own trap line. Now here and then down south where I work, 10 feet seems to be about right. If you were in really thick, heavy country, especially if you're just working on fox, you could probably get by with 6 foot of chain. But here, I never know what I'm going to catch. It could be coyotes, cats, red fox. You don't know. So I like to run 10 feet of chain. That way it stays. It helps that drag lay down on the ground and stay down better for you. Drags are a wonderful tool, guys. I use the heck out of them. I really like them. It saves the integrity of my set area. Lets that animal get up and get moved away from it. He's over there playing around and he's not at my set just destroying things. I don't have that catch circle to have to worry about. 10 feet of number 2 straight length seems to be just about right for me. Been down here. Now I cut mine about half and put a good swivel in there in the middle of it. The more swivels you have, the better off you are, as we all know that. Just put a good center swivel in it. I just run you can, if you want to spend the money on the extra heavy duty crunch proof ones, you can. I don't. I just run the regular swivels on there. And I don't worry about welding my J-hook shut. I knock on wood, guys, I've never had one opened. Not saying by an animal. Now I've opened them myself, pulling the dang thing, pulling a steak set sometimes if it's froze in or something of that sort. Mash that J-hook shut real good. Like I said, I've never had one opened by an animal. Put the chain on the other J-hook, mash it shut really good. So there we have our inline swivel. Then I like to put a J.C. Connors T-bar shock spring in it. Not a not a requirement. It's just another thing for animal comfort. I do use those quite a bit, and then of course I've got a swivel here on each end of it, and then my swivels at my traps. Get another J hook here. We're gonna put this drag on this MB 550. We're gonna just run a J hook through the end of the swivel that's on the end of the chain. Attach the chain to it. Crimp the J hook shut. Just like so. And now we are. And if you don't own a good pair of J hook tools, guys, I'm telling you, these things are a lifesaver. I have pinched thousands and thousands of them shut with a pair of pliers. And I'm telling you, these things right here are a lifesaver and take all the work out of them. And if you get a pair, I would recommend that you get a pair, and I'll try to show it to you in the camera. They have the chain cutter right there in the back of them. Makes things so much easier. Oh, anyway, now we have our drag attached to our chain. So anyway, that's all there is to it. Play around with some drag, some chain length. Play around with the weight of a drag in your area, and you can always too. You know, if you find out that the drags that you purchased or that you made aren't quite heavy enough, you can always either bolt on or weld on some more, you know, a big chunk of flat steel onto the shank of the drag here to make it lay down a little more for you. Basically all I do though here is just throw this thing back in the brush or hang it up in a tree limb and a fork or something like that, and then come out and make my set. All I cover up is the first foot and a half of chain, because let's face it, everything in this country is pissed on every broken off steel post or a piece of farm machinery between here and Des Moines. They don't pay any attention to it. But anyway, if you get a chance, decide you want to run some drags, the only other thing I would recommend is, if you're able to, if you can, get yourself a good dog. A good dog on trap line, especially running drags, something that's got some game sense to it, something that's got a nose, something that's got some drive, is going to make your life a whole lot easier, guys. Saves a lot of steps, saves a lot of time on the trap line trying to locate that animal, when you can just kick the dog out and they'll go do it for you. You know, Timber's picking it up. She's still a little young yet. She's picking it up, though. Midget, the dog I had before Timber, she was pretty good on drags. Not great, but she was good. But the little Jack Russell male I had, Reno, before Midget, was absolutely fantastic. He'd live for an animal on a drag. So if you can, get yourself a good dog, and it's going to make your life a whole lot easier for you. Guys, that's about it. This weekend, we're leaving out in the morning. Mike Houck from Last Step Trap Supply and Hide Tanning and myself and Timber are on the road again. We are headed to Eddyville, Kentucky, to the United Trappers of Kentucky's fall convention. We look forward to seeing y'all down there. The following weekend, we'll be in Decatur, Illinois at the Illinois Trappers Convention. We look forward to meeting everybody there as well. So, guys, I appreciate everything you've done for me. I appreciate everything you've done for this channel. If you would, please, if you found this information helpful, just hit that thumbs up for me. Once again, this is Dale Billingsley with another one. Signing out.